In today's 5G Watch, we're going to explain how this
and this
and this are all ruses funded by the telecommunications industry designed to force the rollout of dangerous 5G and smart cities. These protests, done by Extinction Rebellion, are well funded by the very corporations that are poised to make a killing in profit in the global rollout of 5G.
In this show, we're going to show you who runs Extinction Rebellion, what is the link with Extinction Rebellion and the communications industry, and what is the link with Extinction Rebellion and 5G.
That's right, the government doesn't fund it. The corporations aren't the public face of it. The corporations use NGOs or charities to be the benevolent looking face of the movement and to write the policies that tell the governments what to do. These charities are funded by the corporations. So I'm Hope.
And this is Devon.
And this is 5G Watch, one of our new shows where we talk about all things 5G related, 5G stories in the news. This is going to be a juicy episode. But before we go into all the details that we've got lined up for you here, we've got some great slides that you guys are just going to, it's going to blow your minds. We just wanted to tell you guys that we make our own products for EMF protection. So that's why we're doing this whole show.
Okay, so this is our website for the home decor and EMF protection, and what we make are Oregon-based products, and these products are able to take the fields in the environment and turn them into more beneficial, less harmful energy. So this science is based on the work of Dr. Wilhelm Reich and Oregon Energy, and it has since transformed and evolved from when in his day when he was using plates of metal and non-metal. We use a blend of powders, and we also add shungite to our blend as a way of changing these fields so that they don't impact the body, they don't impact your pets negatively. You can do other things like with this material, create charge plates and put these plates in your refrigerator and preserve your food longer. When you have these seedlings and plants on these materials, it allows the plants to grow more healthier, allows the seedlings to sprout better. So we have several special offers. We have our phone shields with these materials, and these phone shields are able to take, again, the fields coming in from the cell phone towers and transform them, and also from your cell phone so that they don't affect you as negatively. We have our pyramid special offers. We have the sleeping pod special offers. Our customers really like those, so that if you have difficulty sleeping, you have these sleeping pods so to help you sleep. Again, it creates a shield of protection around your body. It's like a buffer, absorbs those fields that would otherwise come across your body and around your bed while you're having a rest at night. You're trying to get some sleep.
We've got over 2,000 happy, satisfied customers, and we do shipping all over the world, and the shipping is included in the price of all of our products. And again, what's that website that you can see our special offers?
Okay, our website is ftwproject.com.
And one more product that we want to tell you about real quickly is Devon and I have written a book called Forbidden Tech, and in this book we cover many topics. You'll learn about free energy, patents, political scandals, murders and cover-ups, engineering basics, cars that run on water, surveillance, gang stalking, energy weapons, and viable solutions to protecting yourself against them. We've cut out all the fluff and brought you right to the heart of the matter. And we've just put all of our materials around this book on sale. So we have an ebook for $9.99, an audiobook where Tavon and I have both read all the chapters of the book to really bring the story to life. For $14.99, we even put together a video course for $19.99, and you can get the printed book on Amazon for $35. So go ahead and check that out. The links are below this video as always, and the website is forbiddentech.website. So with that said, let's go ahead and dig through Extinction Rebellion and its connection to 5G. This is the leader, or the lead spokesperson for this Extinction Rebellion movement. Her name is Gail Bradbrook, and she works for a charity called Citizens Online. Citizens Online was set up by Gail's ex-husband, John Fisher. And this is John Fisher. He's the CEO. And this is from Gail's profile on the Citizens Online website, which has, since her recent development with Extinction Rebellion, this has been removed,
Okay.
but someone kept a screenshot of it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay. From this profile, you can see right here where it says that she worked with a company called EE.
Mm-hmm.
This is the company EE, and EE is responsible for rolling out 5G in the UK. If you look on EE's website, you will see the plan for where they're expecting to roll out 5G all over the UK.
It's like complete immersion.
Everywhere. And here's a map which also highlights their plans for where it is that they're going to roll out 5G. Now, we want to cover a couple of definitions here because you will see some wording in here. This company, Citizens Online, they use terms known as digital inclusion and universal access. What these are, they're actually euphemisms that are actually referring to the rollout of 5G.
Okay.
As you will see here, this is from Verizon.com's website, where it says 5G can trigger social benefits like digital inclusion. Also look down here at the bottom, it says 5G literally has the potential to start the fourth industrial revolution. This is the name of the movement or a business concept, fourth industrial revolution. That will come up later on because you'll see that that's how they're branding this movement. Now, in the agenda that's written by Gail's Citizens Online charity, it states that they want to have the power to influence funding streams of any government services who are already strapped for cash and struggling to provide services as punishment for not complying to the digital inclusion agenda.
Wow, that's amazing.
It says it right here. They say they want to audit government departments, local, regional, and national, for digital inclusion activity, ICT-proof programs, and have powers to influence funding streams. They're pretty aggressive about this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like they want to be above the government.
Absolutely. So you can imagine if this thing goes through, then the governments would be under their control because the governments will do whatever they say so they don't lose their funding.
And there would be smaller government bodies would be extorted.
Now, Gail gave a speech, and in this speech, she actually revealed two huge pieces of information. So in this speech, she admits that Citizens Online are secret agents with an agenda. Listen to this. She says, "Let's come clean about Citizens Online and our staff. We describe ourselves as an independent national charity focusing on the use of ICT by socially excluded communities, but it's all just a cover. In reality, what we actually are secret agents. Secret agents with one purpose in life, to find out what government is really doing with the digital inclusion agenda."
It's just a very strange thing to say.
But then she says this. She says, "So who done it? Who really is the government's digital inclusion unit? This investigator begs your indulgence for the arrogance that could be displayed here when I say that I believe Citizens Online have played that role, unofficially and certainly not paid for by government. Who has paid for it? Industry. Our Alliance for Digital Inclusion Partners has understood the importance of the strategic coordination role alongside the deliveries of projects on the ground. AOL, BT, Cisco, IBM, Intel, Microsoft, and T-Mobile are all supporting this work." So in the same speech, she just admits that they're funded by the telecommunications industry. This is the same industry that's rolling out 5G across the globe. She goes on to say, "So a plea to the new government, see industry as our partners and not as cash cows, and value the knowledge of Citizens Online and our third sector colleagues. We had to work hard to get it. We've found some other forms of funding, and as we're on the topic of funding around Extinction Rebellion, they had a crowdfund that raised £305,000.
Okay.
Okay, they
Right.
did that on fundraiser, and most of the people that contributed to that campaign were anonymous.
Anonymous.
And that's a great way to funnel money into something anonymously. Some people say it's money laundering in some
And
cases.
no one raised any community guideline strike concerns.
No. A lot of crowdfunding these days, they all get reported unless you're part of this agenda. Then this is how they can crowdfund. They can fund things, right? But what's all this being used on? Well, there was an article that came out recently that we covered in one of our current event shows about how the Extinction Rebellion protesters are getting paid £400 a week.
Sounds very similar to the Soros crowd.
Absolutely. Here's that article, How Extinction Rebellion Climate Change Zealots, including a baronet's Cambridge-educated granddaughter, are paid $400 a week to bring mayhem to our streets. And you can see some of the crazy things that they do. We'll go through that a little bit later as well.
Right. So they're not volunteering. A lot of these people are paid to show up and do something at the event.
Oh, there's nothing spontaneous at all about all these protests. This is a movement. It's funded. These people are paid to go and do these crazy things. But we're going to show you why they're doing this and what it has to do with 5G. First, let's go back to Citizens Online. And many of the directors and trustees of Gale's Citizens Online charity just so happen to be people who run companies that will make an absolute killing in profit in the rollout of 5G.
Oh, fascinating. Okay.
Okay, we're going to look at a couple of them. This is Charles Lowe. If you just look, this is from their website saying these are our trustees. He's one of our trustees. And what does he do? He works for something called Health Management Applications. This is the assistive technology program for 4 years, during which sometime 3,000 people had telecare installed in their homes. And the borough began telehealth implementation following Charles's winning whole system demonstrator status from the Department of Health. So it's it's smart technology installed in homes.
Right, okay.
Okay? 5G is not just 5G. It includes all the smart technology. It includes the smart meters.
Yes.
All of these different things that 5G is meant to power.
It's
right?
the fifth generation of wireless technology. It is the Internet of Things.
So here's another one of their trustees. This is Lord St. John of Bletsoe. He's a trustee of Citizens Online, but he also is the director of a company called TIVAC Orbital Networks Limited, Satellite Solution Services. So as you can see here, this is Lord St. John of Bletsoe, TIVAC Orbital Networks Limited, Satellite Solution Services. Here's TIVAC. It's the world's leading provider and innovator of nano and micro satellites. Headquartered in Irvine, California, we provide end-to-end satellite solutions to governments, commercial organizations, and universities. And then here's another article talking about that 5G, Wi-Fi 6, and nano satellites. Cisco pushes total coverage. So he's a big figure in the rollout of 5G. And he's the one who's the trustee of the Citizens Online. So let's show you a clip of Gail so you can get a good look at who this person is and what kind of stunts that she's pulling. She just recently got arrested. I don't think this is the first time she's been arrested for destroying or damaging a government building.
Oh, where's the police? Oh, where are they? Nice camera, though.
Standing on the shoulders of those who went before us to defend our rights. As Emmeline Hanker said, there is a noble art to
Where's the microphone?
I do not want to be destroying things. I want to be repairing things. I want to plant trees. I want to clean up rivers.
Then go plant trees then.
For the food shortages that will come with multi-breadbasket failure. We need to be repairing the harm and stopping the harm. But instead we're planning this monstrosity of HS2, which is set to destroy ancient woodlands at a massive
Who could see that from like 20 feet away?
Because people like me and local residents will drain themselves down to the trees. You will not remove nature, not on our watch. We will do all we can to defend her, because that's where the law comes from. The highest law comes from nature.
The picker.
She's on a cherry picker?
The cherry picker!
How'd she get up there to begin with?
Oh, who knows? But there were all these articles about how they were cutting down all the trees so that, because the trees were blocking the 5G that they're installing everywhere.
Yes.
It was a problem.
Yeah. Well, one of the companies that is funding this movement is the company that's actually cutting down the trees in neighborhoods in preparation for the 5G masts.
Now, Gail spends a lot of time at events where she networks with telecommunications oligarchs such as Anthony Walker, who is the chief executive of the Broadband Stakeholder Group. And this is a report put out by them called Lowering Barriers to 5G Deployment. This report makes recommendations to industry, central government, and local authorities. The Broadband Stakeholder Group is made up of all the biggest telecommunication networks. And you can see them all here. Now listen to this. In this report, they are proposing a dedicated task force to hunt down anyone that does not comply with 5G.
It's just rings of the Communist Manifesto all over again.
This is in this report. I mean, they word it differently, but that's basically what they're proposing. I'll read how they word it. The ensuing creation of the government's barrier-busting task force to enable solutions and develop and implement best practice has been welcomed across the industry. The BSG will continue to engage with the task force, and industry looks forward to progress being made on removing as many of these barriers as possible in order to aid the ongoing and future investments.
Well, there you go. You can see the bottom line and the monetary incentive for this.
Now, there is so much money that's going to be made. These are huge companies.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
They're going to make, I can't even imagine how much money they're going to make. And the other thing that we have noticed is that it's not just in the UK. It's all over the place now. It's in all these different Western countries. For example, in the US, we're hearing reports of how fast these towers are going up.
Yes.
Which is just, it's uncanny. It's extremely suspicious to me because, I mean, you've got failing infrastructures, you have all kinds of needs and all kinds of problems, but none of that stuff gets repaired. It goes on for years and years and years without getting repaired, and it's falling apart, and there's power outages and all these other things. But 5G towers, bam, they're up like that.
Yeah, that's right.
As quick as possible. You know that there's an agenda there.
All of that metal and all of that copper cabling.
Those towers went up fast because they're in some kind of crazy race. They want to be the leaders in 5G, which is, it's not even shown to have faster internet.
Yes, and also this technology has not provided one proof that any of it's been tested.
Well, yeah, there's a whole bunch of scientific reports that show how dangerous this is, and we will be doing that in another video because we want to keep these videos relatively shorter. So maybe next week we'll go over those reports. But this is a giant industrial move, and they're bullying the governments into just going along with it.
Right.
And in order to push the agenda, they're putting out these paid protesters to do these crazy things. Extinction Rebellion is the gigantic distraction that's been thrown out there. You see them doing crazy things. You see them protesting. You don't understand. Why are they doing this? They're all paid to do it, and the whole purpose is to try to push this fake message that we don't have any time left.
Yes.
We're running out of time, and we have to do something in order to not be extinct. And what's that something? That something is technologies like 5G, which are going to lower your carbon footprint, according to them.
Yeah.
And smart meters, and there's more documentation that I didn't even bring up for this report, but it's in Agenda 2030, it's in the reports.
It's in the Green New Deal.
It's in the Green New Deal, okay? This is the agenda. They want smart cities and smart things, and they make them sound really nice, right? So they're trying to scare everybody into, we have to lower our carbon footprint because 5G is getting rolled out. They're going to make a ton of money on it, and it's not safe for the public.
No, it's not.
It's not safe. You're microwaving the public. So here are the 3 demands of the Extinction Rebellion movement.
That the government must tell the truth about how deadly our situation is. It must reverse all policies not in alignment with that position and must work alongside the media to communicate the urgency for change, including what individuals and communities need to do.
The government must enact legally binding policy measures to reduce carbon emissions in the UK to 0 by 2025 and take further action to remove the excess of atmosphere. It must cooperate internationally so that the global economy runs on no more than half a planet's worth of resources.
By necessity, these demands mean an initiative similar to those enacted at times of war. We do not, however, hand further power to our government. We demand a citizens' assembly to oversee the changes as we rise from the wreckage, creating a democracy fit for purpose.
So that's what they're demanding. And what do you think they're going to propose that the solution is to do this? 5G. They'll say 5G and smart meters. That's gonna lower our carbon footprint down to the levels that we're demanding.
Well, they just say smart cities, and that's a blanket term to encompass all these things.
Now, there's been a lot of kick up about 5G, but here's another thing. Okay, we're doing this show because we realized there was 5G awareness all over the internet. And this is an important part, right? There was 5G awareness all over the internet. This was like back in April, May, June
2019.
Of 2019, like those months around there. People were talking about it. They were saying the dangers of 5G. And then all of a sudden, like maybe July, August, the mainstream that you can get on the news or on any YouTube videos, it just dropped. You can't find anybody talking about 5G being dangerous at all. It has been completely censored and totally dropped. Not because all of a sudden 5G is safe, but because this particular agenda, the Extinction Rebellion agenda, has just dominated all of the search engines. And we know that YouTube will promote things that they think is relevant news that has an agenda, and they will demote things that they're trying to censor.
Yes.
You know, we've seen the leader of YouTube actually say that about news. So that's what's going on with 5G. That's why you're not hearing about it as much anymore. Instead, all you're hearing about is Extinction Rebellion. So this is the giant distraction that they have thrown in our faces so that you don't ask questions about 5G.
Yes, that's right.
And with that said, one user, Facebook user, actually messaged the Extinction Rebellion group asking if they could help to stop 5G. And this is the response that Extinction Rebellion gave.
Extinction Rebellion's opinion is that the ecological crisis is far more pressing than 5G. That is why Extinction Rebellion is about the ecological crisis. Extinction Rebellion is not about 5G. You may disagree, but that's the way it is.
They're not about 5G because they're being funded by 5G. So now that we know who's paying for it and why they're doing all this, let's take a look at some of their latest stunts. This is a funny meme, right? Let's play Spot the Greenwash. So you've got Greta and Jane Goodall of all people. Now on the left, this is the original version. Notice how behind her she's got a corporate logo, Salesforce corporate logo, and the Fourth Industrial Revolution
slogan.
There's
that phrase again. Yes.
Right? That's what we were calling it. These are all planned movements. They're all corporately funded movements, right? But then they whitewashed it out. And then the next one is the naive climate activist friendly version with a sentimental quote on the top. So they took out all the corporate backing and made it appear like, oh, it's just
in the blue sky.
Yeah. So there's that. And then we're going to take a look at some of the events that have been happening in the news that have been caught. So you can see what all these people are being paid to do. So here's one where they tried to spray paint fake blood on a building, but then
it's a government building.
It's a government building. It's the Treasury, actually. They were spraying fake blood on the Treasury. And The hose broke. Watch this.
It completely. How did they secure a fire truck? Like a.
How did they get that far? How are they allowed to get up to the building
Well,
and aim it? I mean, oh,
They're thinking they
it
can
went
like
on
take
and
control
on.
of this pressure.
It flooded the streets.
my.
It flooded the
Oh,
streets.
look! Oh, they love. Oh, look at him! It's
Fake
out
blood.
of
Look
control.
at this.
out of
She's like,
control.
I'm gonna try to do something. Nope. Nope.
Oh, look! Yeah, leaving disappointment. It's terrible.
All right, that was money well spent, right?
It's amazing. The police are never around when they do these stunts to stop them.
All right, you ready for this one?
Okay, what's this?
This is a guy, and he is laying himself on the top of a plane to protest the effect that the planes have on the environment.
Is the plane moving? Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. How did you get up there? Is there security?
Oh, man.
Okay, what am I looking at here?
All right, this one takes the cake. This is in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia. It's the Extinction Rebellion activists. They strip off for Melbourne nudie parade because being naked, of course, has everything to do.
This is
with
Extinction
saving-
Rebellion?
This is Extinction Rebellion in Australia. Way to go, Melbourne.
Right. I mean,
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah.
Extinction Rebellion, huh?
It's like...
Did they not have costumes, like the red costumes, like the ones in London did?
No, they ordered them, but the costumes didn't come in yet, so they figured they'd just go out there in the buff like that. Oh my God. So there you have it. That's what all that money is going towards.
Wow.
So the 5G companies are paying these lunatics to do stuff like that in order to create the momentum needed to roll out the 5G network so that they can make a killing on those contracts.
Is it just
Quite literally.
But is it just me, or is it like the message isn't quite getting across? It just looks amateurish.
Well, most
These little
people aren't.
signs, they're kind
Yeah.
of just, just dancing and things or doing something.
Well, most people aren't buying this.
Yeah.
And actually, what's really happening is that these protesters are disrupting everybody's lives. They're costing businesses millions of dollars.
Didn't they
Because
just
they're
recently
blocking off roads,
blocked
they're
off
doing all
roads.
kinds of things, and they're destroying property. There's also signs of where, like, the protesters, they went, and then they littered, like, all over the place. There's all this trash everywhere. So it's like, because these people are irresponsible jerks. Like, who does that?
Yeah, who would you? Well, I mean, I kind of think of Antifa Light.
Oh, totally. So this is what's going on behind Extinction Rebellion, and this is what it has to do with 5G. This is the level that they are stooping to in order to roll out the microwave network that's going to fry and microwave the public. So anyway, on the next show, we're going to bring some of these scientific reports.
Yes.
And
Yep.
we're not going to just leave you with saying, oh, no, there's nothing we can do. Because there are things you can do,
Yes,
and it
there
has
are.
a lot more to do with just sign a petition. We understand signing petitions, and everybody says sign this petition to stop 5G, but that's not stopping it.
No.
You're talking about huge companies with lots of money, but there are things that you can do to keep you and your family and your home safe.
Yes.
So we're going to go through a whole bunch of those things. A couple of them happen to be the products that we sell, and people have been having some great results with those things, but there's other things as well.
Yeah. This is going to be a multi-pronged solution, and you have to be aware of what you're able to do.
And with that said, we thank you very much for watching 5G Watch, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye, everyone.